Welcome to MasterGST. MasterGST is a product from Terra Software Limited. We are the licensed GSP from GSTN. We got the license in 2017 itself. We have prior experience in indirect tax softwares. We have development, web applications, portal development services, mobile application development, user experience. So once you purchase API calls from us, you will become the ASP. That means application service provider. This is how the data will flow from your customer server to available servers. So this is the your client server. From there it will hit your server, which is ASP layer. From there it will hit the master GST servers, and from there it will hit the available servers. This is how the data will flow. And in this scenario, master GST servers are just pass-through servers. Nowhere your data or your logs will get saved in a server. So top 5 reasons to choose Master GST is experience. We are the first South Indian company to get the GSP license, and we got the license in 2017 itself. So over the years of experience, we simplified the API process, and whatever the JSON you are sending in Master GST APIs, the same JSON is given by government. We won't alter the JSONs which is given by government, so you don't need to worry about the changes in the future. When government changes the JSON, you don't need to work on the coding level. You work only on the JSON level, which is hardly 5 to 10 minutes job for you to change it. Next is time saving. Encryption and decryption are taken care by our servers. You don't need to bother about whatever the data you will send in the plain JSON. Whatever the reply you will get in the plain JSON, and you don't need to whitelist your IP addresses also. Next is transparency in pricing. If you purchase API calls from us, we will give one dashboard where you can see all your calls, whatever you made throughout the year. You can see in your dashboard itself. So next is data security. Our servers are just pass-through servers. Nowhere your data or your logs will get saved. So coming to our customers, companies like IBM, Indian Kawasaki, Professional Couriers, West Bengal Electricity Department, the Ama Earth, Grant and Thornton like MNCs, all these are our clients. And coming to support, we are the only one Indian company who is providing 24/7 support on the mobile number itself. You can shoot him mail at support@mastergst.com also. You will get a reply within hardly in 10 to 15 minutes. So right now I'll take you through the product. The first thing what you have to do is you have to create a login in MasterGST. Just go to mastergst.com and click on sign up and select ASP developer as the login and enter your basic information to create one login. So once you create your login, just enter your email ID and password to log into this dashboard where I told you, right? Whatever the calls you made, you can see here. If you click on all, you can see all the calls whatever you made in this month of March. If you go to February, you can see all the calls. In the date wise, you can see it. If you click on all, you can see the monthly wise calls. Just click on Excel to download the data. Here you can download the username wise data, and you can bill your customers as per that. So that is how we are very transparent on pricing part. So coming to the API, right now I'll take you through the available APIs. So available APIs are maintained by the NIC portal people. So whatever the scenario is, you have to use only version 1.03. You can click here to download the documentation, and you and the base URL is api.mastergst.com. The first call is authentication call, is the call you have to make. Here this is a get call, that means you will get the data from the government portal. So here these are the parameters you will enter here in so let's take a scenario, you are testing something from your application, you are getting errors and you are not able to find out whether the problem is from your coding part or the credentials parts. At that time you can come here and you can enter the details here to check it out whether the problem is for credentials or the coding part. So this is how you can use our Swagger, and you can move forward with your testing. So email ID is nothing but the registered email ID with the master GST, not your client email IDs. So whatever the email ID which you gave in master GST, that is what you will you have to enter here. Username in Sandbox, I will provide this username and password. In production, you will create that in the eWaybill portal. That username and password you will create in this eWaybill portal. So this is how you will enter the username and password. IP address is nothing like your system IP address. You can click on find my IP address and you can enter the IP address whatever you got here. So I am not going to block you or unblock you by the IP address. I am just government is asking only for the audit purpose. So whatever it is, I am entering that IP address here. So coming to the credentials, I will provide you two different type of credentials for you, which is in MasterGST portal itself, which is client Sandbox and production. Sandbox will be used for the testing purpose. Production is for the live environment. So I am just entering the client ID here, client secret ID, and GST number, which your client GST number. So here you are sending email ID in the query parameter, username in the query parameter, password in the query parameter, remaining all in the header parameters. So when you click on try it out, this is the curl and this is the exact URL which you shoot from your application also. You can directly copy this URL and paste it in your application and try. So when you make a authentication call, you will get the response as status code 1 means it's success and authentication succeeds. That means the username, password, whatever you entered is correct, and one authentication token will get generated in backend, which is valid for 6 hours. That means every 6 hours you have to make one authentication call. So it will whatever the calls in the next calls you can make for 6 hours without any authentication. After 6 hours, let's take a scenario, you made one authentication call at 12 o'clock. If you make any call before 6 o'clock, the same authentication token you will get it. So you have to make the call at 6:01 to get a new authentication token in the backup. Here authentication token you don't need to store and pass it in the next API calls. That is why we are not giving any authentication token here. So the next is generate a eWaybill. So when after 6 o'clock, let's take a scenario, after 6 o'clock you didn't make any authentication call, you are just straight away you are trying generate eWaybill. At that time you will get the message as invalid authentication token. Whenever you got a message invalid authentication token means you have to make authentication call. So next call is generate eWaybill, which is a post call. That means you are posting the data here. This is the first one, which is a get call here, authentication. So generate eWaybill is a post call. Email ID is nothing but the register email ID with MasterGST, as I told you, IP address, client ID and client secret ID. You need to copy here, which is 6. So GSTN here we are entering, and the body, and this is what you have to send it in the JSON format in the body to generate the eWaybill. So right now you can see what is supply type, what is sub supply type, and what you need to send here. For all these things you can simply depend on this website, which is a government website here. So here you can see the master list. If you click here, you can see supply type, what you need to send. If we send I, it is inward, O means outward. Sub supply type, 1 means supply, 2 means import, 3 means export. This is how, by looking at this website, you will prepare the JSON. Document type, so here you can see what are the document types you can send it. If you send INV, it's tax invoice. If you are doing bill of supply, you have to send as bill. So this is how you will create one JSON to generate eWaybills through the API calls. Right now what I am trying to do is I am just trying to copy the pre-filled JSON here. I am just trying to change the some random invoice document number means invoice number. So I am just entering today's date as invoice date, and when I click on try it out, it will go to the government portal and it will give you the eWaybill within seconds. This is what the e-waybill number, this is what the e-waybill date, and this is what the validity time. You can go to the government portal, you can take the print over there after generation, or else you can store these three things in your database and you can create your own PDF also. So if you want a QR code, you can create your own QR code in your PDF by inserting these three items in the QR code. So you can give your print from your software itself, or else your client can go to his e-waybill portal, he can generate the he can print the e-waybill from the government portal itself. Next is, if you want to update part B vehicle number, this is a post call here. You can enter all the details, and this is what the JSON government is expecting to generate the e-waybill number. So vehicle number, everything. So here it is asking for the transaction document number, transaction document date. Here it is asking for the reason codes. For reason codes, you can completely come here, reason code for a mode of generation, for everything, for each and every documentation you can see reason for extension of validity. If you send one, it is natural calamity. So this is how you can depend on the website for the documentation part. And like that, you can generate the consolidated e-waybill, which is a post call here. So you can keep on adding the e-waybill numbers, how many e-waybill numbers you have, you can add them to generate consolidated e-waybill. You can cancel the e-waybill, which is a post call here. Just enter the e-waybill number, cancellation reason, and cancellation remark. You can see the cancellation reasons in this website to find out. And you can reject the e-waybill, you can update the transporter, you can extend the validity of the e-waybill, which is a post call. So this is how e-waybill number. So when you are entering distance, you can pass the distance as 0. Government will automatically validate the exact distance from their pin to pin database, and it will give you the distance also. You can regenerate the consolidated e-waybill, get e-waybill details. So this API call, let's take a scenario, your client generated the e-waybill number in the government portal, and now if your client enters the e-waybill, we can fetch complete details from the government portal. Here just I am trying to enter the e-waybill number which I generated now, and I am just trying to pull back the details from the government portal by entering the same details. When I click on try it out, I'll get the same details. What is the e-waybill number, e-waybill date, how it is made, what are the invoice number, document number from GSTN to GSTNs, what are the items in this, and what are the vehicle details, and everything you can fetch back and you can store in your database. So this is how you can get back the data from the e-waybill portals. You can get e-waybill transporter by DH, which is a get call. So enter the e-waybill number, which is API-seals, enter the date, whatever it is, just enter the all the details. You can fetch back the details from the government portal. So GST numbers, when you click on try it out, you can get the, so whenever you got some error codes 336 means, just scroll down, click on error codes here, which is here, just search for the 336 error, which is saying could not return a transporter by GST. So this is how you can understand each and everything. You will get a clear cut idea about each and every error code whatever we are showing here. So you will get the details like this, and at the same time you can get e-waybill for transporter by date, get e-waybill transporter for GSTN, like that, get e-waybills by date, get e-waybills by rejected by others. So let's see the get e-waybills by date. I am just trying to enter the data here, which is 18336. So when you click on try it out, here you can see the what you are sending. You are sending email in the query, date in the query, remaining all in the header parameters. So this is how the data you will get it. E-waybill number, e-waybill number. So how many e-waybills got generated, that can be downloaded and stored in your database. This is how get e-waybills rejected by others, get consolidated e-waybill, get e-waybill by consumer, get error list, get GSTN details. That means you can give one option to your customer by saying that you just enter your GST number, your client GST number, and you can validate the GST number whether that is correct or not. If it is correct, government will give you all the details like what is the company name, train name, legal name. So you can auto populate the train name and legal name and address also. So you don't need to enter those details. And one more is get transit details. That means you can enter the transporter GSTN, and you can validate the transporter whether the transporter GS number is correct or not. It will auto populate the name and address of that. Get HSN details, which is a HSN validation tool. Here you can enter the HSN code of whatever it is, and it will validate and it will give you the description of the HSN code. That's it. And you can see the initiate multiple vehicles, add multiple vehicles, change multiple vehicles, get available pay parties. So these are the different type of API calls. You can use it, and you can simply depend on this website for each and every documentation. Whatever the API calls you can see in this website, you can see all these API calls in MasterGST also. So for every validations, you can see the sample JSON. Whatever the sample JSON can be seen here will be same in MasterGST. You can see the response, the same response you will get in MasterGST also. So here you can see some data structures. Here you can see some validations also. So everything will be clear. So for anything, if you have any queries with MasterGST API integration, you can straight away call our mobile numbers which is mentioned here and landline numbers which is mentioned here, or else you can straight away can shoot a mail to support@mastergst.com. Thank you.